Hello everyone and welcome to the review. My name's Janae and tonight is collaboration night with Lisa from Diamond and Stitches. Stay tuned. Again, a big hello to all of you. Tonight is collaboration with Lisa from Diamond and Stitches. We're going to be working on our Seattle Seahawks paintings, and mine is a 40 by 70 custom from Evermoment. We're going to be sending each other some tag questions so that way we get to know each other as well as give you a chance to get to know us better. So by saying that, let's go ahead and jump into that collaboration. So first question is, are you named after anyone? Yes and no. And the reason why I say that is because my first name is Deborah, but I go by my middle name, and my middle name my middle name has been passed on for 4 generations. I'm the 4th and last one to carry the name. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother all had the same middle name. So in a sense, I would say no, I'm not actually named after anyone. I just carry the same middle name. So, yeah. Okay, second question. When was the last time you cried? Oh my gosh. I would say that was probably on Friday. And it was a movie that I was watching. I get really teary-eyed with movies depending on the situation and so on. So, yeah. So I would say that was on Friday. I'm very sensitive too, especially when it comes to animals. So third question, do you have kids? If no, how many do you want? I do have kids. I have 2 boys. One is 28 and the other is just turned 27. And one lives in Mississauga, Ontario, and my youngest lives here in Winnipeg. So, question 4. If you were another person, would you be a friend of yourself? Yes, I would. And I'll explain why. For years growing up, and even being in my early adulthood, I struggled a lot in sorry, I can't talk and think of the color. Hold that thought. Let me get my color first. So I want to do the check mark. Check mark is 3756. 3756. Sorry about this. I can't talk and try to find color at the same time. So we get this mixed up there. Okay. As I was growing up, I had a big fear of not being accepted or not or actually being rejected by people. And there's a storyline for that, but at this time I prefer not to discuss it. But it took a long time for me to realize that in order for people to like you, you have to like yourself. And for the longest time, I didn't like myself. And I think in my late 30s, early 40s is when I realized that, you can only do so much. But until you can accept you and like you and love you, you can't expect other people to feel that towards you. So nowadays, oh yes, I have not completely overcome that fear, but I have gotten so much better, and I'm a lot happier. So yes, I could see myself being a friend of myself if I was somebody else. So let's put this last one down. What's the next question? Sorry. This is good. Do you use sarcasm a lot? That would be yes. The reason why I laugh is I don't use a lot of sarcasm when I'm on YouTube. And the reason for that is I don't want to offend anyone. Although I have been told by a lot of people that I have a very sarcastic sense of humor. And, you know, I mean, it's me. That I can't help it. The way I see things is this. You only live life once, and you got to have fun one way or the other. And you need to be yourself. You can't be fake or pretend to be something you're not. And I don't know how that ended up being with the sarcasm part of it, but at work, when I'm at work, I'm really careful on how I approach certain people because of the type of job I do. But when I'm around my friends and my family, oh yes, I can be very sarcastic, but that's because they know me and they know my personality. One of the biggest reasons why me and my husband get along so well is because we have very similar personalities. So we're just dripping in sarcasm. Let's just put it that way. So let's go to the next one. What is the first thing you notice about people? Their hair. I'm sorry. Their hair is the first thing I notice about anyone. Hold that thought. I'm going to get another color. Let's see. I'm going to go with T. So, yes. So the first thing I notice about anyone is their hair. Why? Because I used to do hair. I did hair for 14 years. And the way I said, this is another thing. Hair tells a lot about a person's personality and how they wear their hair. So when I did hair, you met a lot of different types of personalities. Now, there are times where somebody will come in and they would say, oh, I want to have this done, and you're looking at them like, really? That isn't going to look good. But again, you always want to make somebody happy too. So, yeah. First thing I notice is their hair. Okay, so let's go with the next one. What is your eye color? My eye color is blue, and I have, well, let's see, let's put it this way. The color of my eyes can change depending on the mood I'm in. Now, I can have really light crystal blue eyes, or I can have dark blue eyes, like ocean blue eyes. I will not tell anyone what or how my eyes change and why, because then that'll give out the secret, and I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. But yeah, my eye color will change as far as brightness and whatnot, depending on the mood that I'm in. At least that's what I've been told. Okay, so I'm done with my T's, so I'm going to put this back. So what is the next question? Scary movies or happy endings? That would be scary. I love scary movies. Now, if you had asked me that question when I was a teenager or, growing up, I would say happy endings. I hated scary movies when I was a kid. But my mother was a really big horror fan fan, and so she would watch all these scary movies and she wouldn't allow me. She'd allow my other sisters, but not me, to watch these movies because I would literally have nightmares. And the nightmares would be so bad that I would have to sleep with my light on. So the older I got, though, the more I actually enjoyed them. And now it's like I can't get enough of them. I love scary movies. Now, happy ending movies are great too. I can watch those. I actually do enjoy them. But if I had to choose between one or the other to watch, I would go more towards the scary movies, especially this time of year. Love them. So let's go with the next question. Favorite smells? Wow. Okay. That would be Cinnabons. Every time I go into a mall and there's a Cinnabon in the mall, I can smell it 5 miles away. It's like, ooh, it's calling my name. Come get me, come get me, come get me. Unfortunately, Cinnabons love me way too much, and I gain way too much weight. So it's simply just stand there and take a nice, long, deep breath and enjoy the smell, but I can't enjoy the Cinnabon. That's one of my favorite smells. The other one is, I don't know if any of you have heard of this flower, but it's called sweet peas. My grandparents and my great-grandmother used to have tons of sweet peas growing in their backyard, and it's a beautiful flower, but you can smell it like far away, and it's just a really sweet flowery smell. And I grow them in my backyard now too, and it reminds me of my grandparents. So that's my second most favorite smell. So what's the next question? What is the furthest you've ever been from home? That would be Nova Scotia. I went to Nova Scotia to visit some friends for about a week, and I've never gone that far out. Beautiful area, loved it. It's still in Canada, so for those of you that don't know where Nova Scotia is, it's up towards Maine and maybe even a little bit farther east, but it's over on the east side of Canada, and it's very, very beautiful. So let me find my next color. Let's go with these L brackets. So 37, 47, 37, 37, 47, 37, 47. Here we go. Lisa, do you notice my pen? Lisa has just the most awesome taste in the world, and when she unbagged her Seahawk pin, I thought, oh, I gotta have it. So when I got my custom paint or my custom pin done, I got it in Seattle's Pride, and it turned out beautiful. Love it. So just wanted to throw that out. Okay, so, oops, can't have that there because I won't be able to read the questions. Okay, so do you have any special talents? Sorry. Does walking in walls count? And I'm being serious. That's my special talent. I have a tendency of walking into walls and not meaning to. It's not like I'm not paying attention, but unfortunately I have a problem with my peripheral vision at times, and when I'm walking towards the wall, it appears to be farther away than it actually is. And yeah, I'll just walk right into it. And my husband just kind of looks at me like, okay, there you go again. I'm like, hey, I can't help it. You know, it is what it is. And there really isn't much that they can do about it other than, yeah, I just have to watch where I'm walking, I guess. But yes, I do walk in the walls a lot more than I would like to do. Let's just put it that way. Boy, there's not very many of these either. Okay, so, sorry for the arm. So, where were you born? I was born in Tacoma General Hospital, Tacoma, Washington. So I am a Washingtonian, not only at heart, but I was born there. So the next question is, where was I? What is your zodiac sign and do you believe in it? My zodiac sign, which might explain the sarcasm, is I am a Leo. And my mother tells me all the time that I am a true Leo. If you look up the description of a Leo, my mother's like, yeah, your picture's right there. I'm like, that's nice, Mom. I do believe in the zodiac signs, yes. Some of the things that they claim that a Leo is, I wouldn't say I'm totally that, but I would say 90% of it is. But yes, I do believe in zodiac signs. What are your hobbies? Well, besides diamond painting and some other crafts, I am a small dog breeder, or what we call a small hobby breeder. I don't breed very often, but I do breed once in a while, and I do show my dogs. So that's a big hobby of mine. Also, me and my husband are motorcyclists, so we ride a lot when the weather is nice. We've gone down to Sturgis a couple of times and done some long distance riding. So those are the things that that I would say are my hobbies. Let's put one more down here. There we go. So, do you have any pets? Yes, I have 3 dogs. Again, I'm a small dog breeder. I breed Shelties. And for those of you that may not know what a Sheltie is, they look like miniature collies, but they're actually not collies. I have been a small breeder since 2003, but I've had Shelties since the 1980s. I love them. They're such a beautiful breed, but they're very, very loving. They're very loyal to their owners, and there's nothing like coming home from work and the first thing that greets you at the door is a little yapper, because they do like to yap. They are very, very talkative, and but I just love them to death and never would trade them. Never would trade them for the world. So, next question. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I do. I have 2 sisters and 2 stepbrothers. My 2 sisters are older than I am. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. And my 2 stepbrothers are younger than me, so I'm kind of smack right in the middle. I'm very close to all of them, and they all live in Washington State. So next question, let's see. What do you want to be when you grow up? Do I really have to grow up? I didn't know I had to grow up, really? um, well, I can tell you what I wanted to be when I was growing up. I wanted to be a radiologist, and that just didn't pan out. I worked as an administrator for general surgery in Toronto for 6 years and put myself through some college courses during that period of time. But unfortunately, with 2 small kids and I was raising them by myself, I couldn't afford to go to university. So, yeah. And technically, I would say I haven't truly grown up. So, I guess at any point in time, I can pick and choose what I want to do when I finally do grow up. Yeah. Okay. I will say this, though. What I would like to do when I retire, and hopefully that's soon, I want to be able to help people in Mexico. That's what me and my husband are planning on doing when we retire, is live down there for 6 months out of the year and do some volunteer work down there. I'm hoping to be able to volunteer with either the into the medical field or in the schools. I'd love to spend some time with the kids and, you know, maybe do some English teaching if it's possible. But that's something that I would love to do. And so I guess at my age I can say when I grow up, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to go down there and volunteer and help. Okay, what's next? Who was your first... Okay. Who was your first best friend? Who was my first best friend? Well, honestly, I would have to say that would be my grandmother. Growing up, me and my grandmother were very, very close, and I loved her to death. And I would say even my grandfather, because we spent a lot of time with my grandparents when my parents moved down to California. And then every summer we would go up there and spend our entire summer with them. So, yeah, I was very close to my grandmother, and she, I would say, was my very first best friend. So, how tall are you? How tall was I when okay. Well, let me just put it this way. When I reached the peak of my height, I was 5'7", and the older I get, the more I shrink. So right now I'm probably about 6 3/4 inches. Or not 6, sorry. 5'6" 3/4 inches. So I'm shrinking as I get older. And I'm the smallest. Believe it or not, I am the smallest one in my family. Everybody else in my family is close to 6 foot, if not over 6 foot. In fact, most of the boys in the family are about 6'4". So I'm actually quite short considering my family. My sister, though, I love her to death, and she's like right now one of my best friends. She was a lot taller than I was, and I tease her now because I'm actually taller than she is now. She doesn't like that, though. I always rub it in her face. Look at me, I'm a half an inch taller than you. You're shrinking. She doesn't like it, but it is what it is. I have to just do that to her because she used to torture me when I was a kid. So, paybacks, paybacks. Gotta have them. Okay, so next question. What is your least favorite thing about yourself? My least favorite thing about myself, I would have to say, and that's going to go back to one of the other questions that was asked about if I was somebody different, would I like myself? And that would be, to be able to not focus on that fear of being accepted. Being able to accept myself and not have to worry about what other people think. And again, it's a constant battle for me, but I don't allow it to control my life as I did before in the past. So that would be what I would say in that aspect. How many countries have you visited? 3. I've only been in Mexico, Canada, and the US. Those are the only 3 countries I've been in. Unless you classify Quebec as a country, then that would be 4. Let's see, what's next? What was your favorite or worst subject in high school? My favorite subject in high school was math. Anything outside of math was my worst. Yeah. I struggled in school, and my stepfather was a big mentor for me. He just helped me through school. If it wasn't for him, I would never have graduated. So actually, I could also say he was my best friend, but my grandmother was actually my first best friend. So, but my stepfather was a huge influence on my life, and without his help, I would never have been able to graduate from high school. So, next. No, let's see. What was your favorite? Okay. What is your favorite drink, animal, and perfume? So, can drink be alcoholic? I'm just sorry. So, if it was an alcoholic drink, I would say it would be a margarita. I drink lots of water, and I put Crystal Light in my water. And the only type of Crystal Light I'll drink is the pink lemonade. So those basically are the things that I would drink. I'm not a big, heavy drinker as far as alcohol is concerned. So, yeah. So it's basically water. Favorite animal would be horse and then a dog. Used to raise and breed horses and show horses when we were kids into my young adult. So basically I stopped showing horses when I was about 28, and I haven't owned a horse since I was in my 30s. So so horse would be first, and then dog. I love my dogs. They're my babies. So next question. Oh, favorite perfume. I didn't bring that one up. My favorite perfume is called Realm. Used to be able to buy it at Nordstrom's and there was another place in the Washington area that used to be able to buy them or buy it, but unfortunately now the only place I can get it is online. They do sell it, but it is online, so that's the unfortunate part. But I do love that smell. It's more of a, it's not like a real heavy musk smell, but it's not a very sweet and overpowering smell. Okay, so is your favorite? Okay. Last question. What would you or have you named your children? Okay, so my children's names are Seth and David. Seth was named after his father's grandfather, and David was named after my uncle who passed away. So they were named after specific people. All right, so that is it, everyone. I didn't get very much done, but I got a lot of this done earlier this morning. I was working on it this morning. and I'm hoping to get some progress done because this is a big painting. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please check Lisa out on Diamond and Stitches. I will have her channel linked below. She's wonderful, guys. She is just wonderful, hilarious, and down to earth, and I do highly recommend that you check out her channel if you're not already subscribed to her. Lisa, again, thank you so much for doing this with me. I am so honored, and looking forward to those next questions. And also, everyone, we're going to be incorporating not only tag questions of get to know each other, but we're also going to be incorporating a little bit of football questions. And I like this one. I can't wait. Would you rather questions. I think these are so fun, and they are hilarious. So please join us. And again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We'll see you again Wednesday for the collaboration, and you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you later.